And if he's asking you out for coffee as a first date, go ahead and block him right now. Quickly. Men only ask women out for coffee for the first date if one, they're cheap, and two, he's not actually sure he's interested in you. Don't you want a man that's sure he's interested in you? I've heard from the horse's mouth themselves. Men have told me they only take women on coffee dates if they're not sure they want to pursue the girl.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Just a Girl Show. My name is Janine. If you are new here, if you're new, of course, hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on so you never miss an episode. And if you're a subscriber, welcome back to the channel. So ladies, we have to stop being so entitled and delusional. Okay, so when it comes to, y'all remember last year? It was last year, right? When the whole Cheesecake Factory situation came out, or was that 2023? That was 2023 or 2024. Whatever. The whole Cheesecake Factory thing where the woman was like, I'm not going to Cheesecake Factory. It was this whole thing where the women came out with where they're not going to go on dates and how they not dealing with this or accepting that. Like they wanted to go to, these 5-star restaurants, and these Michelin chefs and all these things for a first date. That man needed to spend a certain amount of money on what they were not going to tolerate, right? So I want to share this clip of this woman declining a coffee date. Let's come back and talk about it.
A man asked me for coffee today after work, and I politely told him no, and then brought myself to McAllister's, where I got this croissant, this grilled chicken sandwich, and an entire bowl of broccoli cheddar soup and a Dr. Pepper for under $25. Now, I'm not going to argue with you about how you like to date, just like I don't want you to argue with me about how I like to date. But coffee is never going to be an option for me. And just like I respect your choice to coffee, respect mine to not coffee.
So she said no. And she went and bought her a full meal. And I have so many thoughts. To me, what I heard of how she decided to go spend her time, coffee wasn't enough. These women want to go eat. Some of these women, honestly, y'all, they don't even spend the money on themselves. They don't buy themselves nice things. They wait for men to spend the money on them. So they don't take themselves to nice restaurants. They don't buy themselves these expensive bags that they say they want, the shoes. They need somebody else to buy them. Because number one, they might not be able to afford it, right? They just can't afford it. Or they're just too cheap to spend it on themselves, so they want to get somebody else to do it. So coffee wasn't enough, right? That wasn't enough because you're looking for a meal. You're looking for somebody to take you somewhere that you ain't ever been before and spend their money. And I just feel like women just make it so hard. Like, I'm not saying, there's a lot of comments that was made on her post regarding her just being, should be grateful that somebody asked her on a date. And that's just based on her looks, if we just being all the way honest. But I do believe that we as women need to stop just making it so hard. Like, it's not going to hurt you to go for a coffee date. It's really not. You understand what I'm saying? And you don't know where that might lead to. We might sit there and have coffee, talk for a while, and then we might go over here and grab lunch. Just because just how the conversation might go, how the date might go, you never know. But when I hear you saying, I went over and it brought me this, brought me that, I had this, a full bowl, this, a Dr. Pepper, you looking for a meal. You want a date that consists of real food. So I just find it so interesting how women will say these things of how they just decline this stuff, right? But then they'll also come back and say men are not interested in them and they're not approaching them. So if a man did really approach you, which some people don't even believe that to be true, if he did approach you, why couldn't you have still went on that coffee date and still had your whole spread of food after? You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have done both. You went on a date with this guy, got to know him. Maybe you liked him, maybe you didn't, and still left and went and got you something to eat, right? The same thing that you did after, why not? To me, it just gives something to boost your ego. Like, I want to be able to say that I told a man no. Like, especially if you don't have that many options, you are looking to be able to just say you had the option to say no. The first time you can say no, some women just want to be able to use their power to do so. And you have the right to do so. But when you don't get that many options, when it comes to being asked on dates and people want to take you out, you want to abuse that power just to come online and tell the story, right? So as I said, not everybody believes that this is even a real story, and I'm going to share this clip in regards to that point.
A man asked me for coffee today after work, and I politely told him no, and then brought myself to McAllister's, where I got this croissant, this grilled chicken sandwich, and an entire bowl of broccoli cheddar soup and a Dr. Pepper for under $25. Now, I'm not going to argue with you about how you like to date, just like I don't want you to argue with me about how I like to date. But coffee is never going to be an option for me. And just like I respect your choice to coffee, respect mine to not coffee.
Social media really got a lot of y'all portraying yourselves online in a way that you would never portray yourself in real life, because you know that's not who you really are. Some women gotta be very, very grateful that someone even asked them on a date. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't believe that anybody asked her on a coffee date at all. I'm trying to figure out, why am I seeing so many videos of women against coffee dates? I can almost put money on it that she in particular does not get asked out on dates often. I think a lot of women get online and make videos like that because they want to brag. Oh my God, a guy actually asked me out. Let me go online and tell everybody. Like, girl, if you get asked out a lot, or if guys approach you a lot and you're used to saying no, that's not a conversation to have online. But when you're not always being approached, get online and brag like, oh my God, someone asked me on a coffee date. Girl, be happy somebody asked you out, because the comments already ripping you a new asshole. Be for real.
So I'm going to say I kind of agree, and I agree with the point about how they like to just make up these stories just to start conversation online, right? And as I said, there's a lot of comments, and there's a lot of she's responding to a lot of videos stating based on how she looks and like how she should be grateful. And I'm not here to do that. I'm not going to tell a woman that she should just take any and everything based on how she looks. That is not who I am, and I'm not going to ever tell a woman just to take anything just because. But the reality of it is, when you do look a certain way and you talking a certain way, you talking real heavy about what you're not going to deal with or not going to do, that's what's going to come from men and women. Okay, men and women. Let's just be honest. But like I said, your coffee date ain't enough for you.
One of the silliest videos I saw today was of a young lady sitting outside at a table looking like she was having lunch. Well, she was having lunch by herself, talking into her camera, saying, a man asked me for a coffee date, and I said no. Then I took myself to McAllister's, and I bought me a croissant, and this drink, and this soup, and this, and it was all for under $25. You know how silly you sound? A man asked you out on a coffee date, right? And you told him no, because you don't do coffee dates. And she said something along the lines of, don't get mad at me for how I like to date. I don't like coffee dates, or whatever she said in the video. I'm pretty sure y'all have seen it by now. You sound silly. And it's women like that that's gonna stop a lot of y'all followers, a lot of y'all women who don't have a mind of your own. It's gonna stop y'all from finding you a man, because you're gonna see her video, and some of y'all are gonna like it, and some of y'all are gonna do the same exact thing that she did, and you're gonna run off a possibly good man, could be your husband, all because you don't want a coffee date. Now here it is. Now if you don't like the person, that's perfectly fine. If you don't like them, you're not attracted to them, or whatever the case is, cool, or whatever. I'm not saying just go on a date just cause. If you're not feeling it, then cool. However, if you're turning it down just because the type of date it is, now I can see if the man was saying, oh, I want to take you back to my house, or I want to take you to a strip club or something like that, then yeah, I get turning it down. But a coffee date, you know how intimate that is?
You're looking just to have a meal. You're looking to just sit down and have a meal. And that's all we see as a date. Just go out and take me to dinner and buy me a $200 piece of steak. Why don't you like the fact that the man is thinking outside of the box, right? Maybe he's tired of taking women out to dinner. He might want to do coffee because I'm a morning person. It's my lunch break, my lifestyle, whatever it might be. But because you feel like we could do this another other time, I don't need to sit down and talk to you. Why are you complaining about being able to talk to someone and get to know them? And this is why her point about how we already talked on the phone or an app or whatever. So it's like we've already done all that. This is why they be missing all the signs, because they feel like they've got enough information on that little app or on the phone for a couple of days and that's it. But this is another opportunity to see him in a different element, a different environment, talking to this person face to face. But again, you want to talk to him face to face when it's the date that you want.
This is my motion to make coffee dates acceptable as a first date. First thing, they're quick, they're easy. If the date goes left, 20 minutes, we can all go home. No time wasted. Nobody feels no type of way. No one feels slated over an $8 coffee. Everybody can move on quickly. 2, as women, it's a lot safer option. Coffee dates are like during the day. They're like less intimate. So the expectations of like potentially getting sex later on or not getting it and the men being upset because they didn't get it, they're a lot lower when all they're doing is taking you out for coffee. They don't even get the opportunity to feel like you owe them something in return for $8 coffee. Think about it. 3, the whole purpose of a date is to get to know the other person. And I think that a coffee shop creates a great environment for conversation. You got kids? No, I ain't got no kids. You like dogs? I like dogs. You like Mike and Ike? I like Mike and Ike. Can I get your number? Think about it. Number 4, if the date goes good, y'all can stay there longer. Get a bite to eat at the coffee shop or get another coffee. But it's a low cost, chill environment to get the job done of what a date is supposed to do. I think that we should make first dates acceptable to be at a coffee shop.
Because she didn't take herself and go buy her a fancy dinner, a fancy lunch. And she says it's not about the money. That's what she said. I saw a clip. She said it was not about the money. I just think that it's status. I think it's ego. I think it's something to just brag about. I think it's something that you want to abuse your power, because there's nothing wrong with a coffee date. I think that can be such honestly, a date that can go so many ways. It can start there. It can go for a walk. We can start to get to talk to each other. It can go so many places if you allow it. But if you in this place of like, I don't need to know nothing else, I already know what I know about you, you're going to always miss the signs. You're going to always miss the red flags that are flashing in your face that if you would have saw him talking to him on the phone, text him on the app, go on a coffee date, go on a dinner date. These are all different opportunities to get to see this person and hear them and even just like reconfirm what you heard on the phone. You see it in person, see how he responds, if he's lying. But we're slow. We don't be moving accordingly. Like I said, these women have a problem with coffee dates. When did coffee dates become a problem? I don't get it. I don't get it. But we are so uppity and that's beneath us and that's bottom of the barrel for us to go on a coffee date, then you'll be single. You will be single. Point blank period. I mean, that's just what it is. That's just what it is. So, and you'll spend your time coming online telling everybody about how you turned a man down. Okay, girl. Okay. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this topic. Drop it down below. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed the conversation, of course. Subscribe to the channel. Join the Patreon. The link is in the description. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.